Hello, Henderson Collegiate Community. My name is Kayla Andrews, and I am proud to present to you In the Huddle featuring myself and Mr. Sanchez. Stay tuned. Hello, my name is Kayla Andrews, and I'm a part of the Pride of 2022. And here we have Mr. Sanchez, the CEO of our school, just coming in to talk with us about some information about Henderson Collegiate. So, hey, Mr. Sanchez.
How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm hanging out with you, Caitlin. I'm pumped. I'm excited.
Me as well. So, I have a few list of questions that I'm just going to ask you throughout today. I'm excited. Let's get right into it. So what made you create this school? And is it going how you wanted it to go?
Yeah. Is it going how we want it to go? That's always a tough one. So, Mrs. Sanchez and I, we taught in some of the local schools, and we wanted to be a bigger part of the solution. We wanted to create something where students can come be themselves. Students can be in a safe place to learn, to improve, and where we'd help them achieve their dreams. We'd help them get to the point where they have tons of options, and they can go on to live the lives they want and change the world.
Oh, that's good. That's a really good answer. And so with that being said, what would you say?
It's not the first time you heard that, though, right?
No, okay. Not at all.
Right.
So with that being said, what do you feel like you're most grateful for in this year within the school system? In
this year? Well, the context of this year is unlike any other time, right? We're coming back, or we're still coming back from a pandemic that knocked us 10 steps back. And the fact that we have the big three, we have parents, students, and staff that are just fully committed, going all in, trying our best to make up for last year, trying our best to make the place feel the same way it has any other year, full of love, full of energy, as we all move forward together. I mean, you can't be more grateful than that, right? To look around and, you and I just walked around, right? We saw the students, we've seen the staff. Yeah. There's nothing better than that. I mean, you talked about it too, about how personable the school is and how important that is, and that we need to be as personable as we've ever been.
Yes.
For not just you, but
all students.
Yeah. But your sister, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
She's in 7th grade, and so she's been here for a while as well. I've been here since 4th grade, and so I've been able to just enjoy the atmosphere of the school over the course of the time.
And so you remember the chants and
yes.
the one-on-one connection and just the energy.
The trips was always my favorite.
And that's the thing, building it all back. And once you have committed people like we have now, which is, to answer your question, what I'm so grateful for, anything's possible. Yeah. Anything's possible.
And so it's rumored that my grade, the best class that we've had, has just reached a lot of milestones already. So can you kind of speak on to some of those things?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy how fast 22 has accomplished so many things. We still have over 2/3 of our applications out, and yet 100% of the students, this, have been accepted
yes.
to a 4-year college or university. I mean, that's huge. That's 4 years in a row, right?
Yes, sir.
We know that as of today, and this is kind of hot off the press, you guys have eclipsed the $11 million mark in terms of scholarships. I mean, that's huge, right?
Yes.
We have another QuestBridge scholar. I mean, this is still in December. We still haven't got back all the tier 1 through 3 universities that are going to come back. A lot of students are coming to me and saying things like, hey, I just got into my 4th college or my 3rd college, but I'm really excited to hear back from 1, 2, or 3. And so that I'm pumped. How are you doing in the college application process?
So I applied to 30 schools.
What?
Yeah, so it became a game for me. I was like, you know what? I've applied to 10. I'll apply to 10 more. And so I have personally, as of yesterday, I have got accepted into 14 of those. Yes, sir. And
14?
So far, yes.
In December?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm still waiting back to hear from NC State, Georgetown, Cornell, and Columbia University. But I have applied to a lot of schools. And so far I have $518,000 in scholarships. So it's going really well.
So you asked why we created the school. Having known you since 4th grade and seeing a charismatic young lady
Thank you.
who had ups and downs. Sometimes her mouth created options, sometimes it took away options. But learned from it and developed such great relationships, has had such a great experience, and is now in senior year with tons of options. I mean, that's what it's about, right? That's what it's about. That we're sitting here in December and you're bragging about getting into 14 colleges, that you got still a bunch more that are going to come in. You got scholarship money, and you've grown so much as a person. That's what this whole school is about. I mean, you are embodying it. You're a great example of it.
Thank you so much. And so, with that being said, can you kind of speak on like how our college counseling program is kind of helping out, or how they're much of an aid in this whole process?
So the school's always been about college acceptance, and college graduation, right? Like we're not about high school graduation. Every conversation from the moment you got here was, what year are you going to college, right? And so, a school has to put in, any organization does, the resources to support the big goals. And our goals are kids going to college, to and through, right? And we have a huge college counseling team that helps students from freshman to senior year, um, and helps them with every step of the application process, um, coordinates with families on all the specific information we need for the application process and to access financial aid. And then after it's all said and done and all the acceptance is in and you've already have 14,
Yeah.
to sit down and really evaluate all the options to help the student pick the best option for them. After that's all over, graduation has happened, commencement's happened, you've finished Henderson Collegiate. We still have a person completely devoted to helping support you while you're on a college campus. Make sure that you're accessing all the resources, make sure you're acclimating well, giving you reminders about things that are coming up, such as FAFSA and things like that. I mean, all we do is, in this college counseling team, is help students access college and graduate from college. And it's an amazing team. I mean, you know them.
Yeah, I do. I know.
Who's
all
your
of them.
counselor?
My college counselor is Miss Martinez, but I have worked really closely with Miss Cook as well, because I wanted to apply to Howard, and so she helped me a lot with like that application process. Like that first week of, I think that was the first college that I really applied to, and so that first week she was with me, like the coming in, she'll be like, all right, Caitlin, let's go. Let's work on this application. Or she'll like, come on, let's work on this recommendation, because she wanted to write me a recommendation.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I've gotten to know them all personally, though. And so what I can say is, what I like about the college counseling program is that it's not just one student. So, like, they'll all work with everyone. And so I really appreciate that as well.
Yeah, yeah. And, when you look at other schools that are really focused on high school graduation, rather than college, it's a whole different focus. And right now, the conversations are different in those schools. And having supported a lot of students that have been through that process, they're not even talking about college. They haven't written their personal statements at this time, haven't done FAFSAs, we're further along because of this great team. And as a result, I mean, look what 22 is
the
doing.
Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. The numbers
Yes,
don't
sir.
lie. I love it.
So we've talked a lot about the college process and my grade and the college process for like 22 personally. How then have you kind of embodied that in all students and made that thing like a normalized thing from fourth grade to now, or younger students to now?
Yeah, that's an important question, right? Because not every home has made it that college is an inevitability, right? And that's what we want to. That's kind of what we're talking about here, right? It's like, from the time our kids are in kindergarten, naming their pride after the year they're going to go to college, taking every single pride from kindergarten up, even kindergartners, going on a college campus. All right, that's a funny video.
That is
right?
like, you're in kindergarten, just at a college campus, like, yeah, I'm gonna be here soon.
Yeah. And I mean, everything around us is college, right? Like, we walk around in any of our schools, we see college everywhere. Our teachers talk about their colleges all the time, and make it a big part of the conversation. It just has this feeling in it of inevitability, right? The kids start dreaming about colleges and talking about the schools they want to go to. And then as they get into middle school, that's when the reality really starts hitting, right? Are your dreams matched with your reality, right? You say you want to go to a tier 1 school. Do you have the GPA to get there? And we start talking about that early, right? We want our students in middle school to understand that if you want to go to the college of your choice, it's going to take work and you're going to have to achieve a certain level, right? So you're talking about being in the conversation for Cornell and Georgetown, which means you understood from a young age that your GPA mattered. I mean, you wouldn't be in that conversation if you had a 2.5. And so you had to get greedy for grades. We talk about that, right?
Yeah.
And achieving at those levels to make those things an option. And I think that ongoing conversation with students has really helped them understand what they're trying to achieve, why they're trying to achieve it, and then probably most importantly, how they can achieve it. And we've done a lot of work there. And I think the work that's now being done, which is the work that I'm most excited about, is bringing in these graduates. All right. And you'll be in it next year, right?
Yeah.
Come down, talk to the prides. Hey, here's what college is like. Here's what you should think about during the application process. And I think that actually helped 22 this year. Not that you guys had an abundance of communication with alum, but the word got out of what the process was like. And it kind of normalized it for you guys as you guys went through it. You knew what to expect. And it made it a more efficient process, but a more accessible process, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I remember, I want to say at the beginning of this year, before we even started the college process, we had Emily Garcia actually. She did a virtual, like, telling us about it and everything. And I think everyone was just like snapping it up, like, yeah, we got this. And I feel like the fact that it was just an exciting process just is what got us to be like, oh, you know what? They did it, so we're going to do it too. And so we just did it. And then also like the support of our families, and then the support of our college counselors, and also just the teachers sharing their stories. So like I wasn't thinking about Cornell until Miss Dennis came to me and was like, you should go here. Like, it's a very diverse environment. You would like it. And I'm like, Cornell, like, that's Ivy League. I didn't even know. And so then I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna apply. And then I didn't even think much about it. It was just like, I have a good grades. I have the foundation. I have a good support system, my parents as well. And so it was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. And
Do you know I went to school about 60 minutes from Cornell?
You did? What school?
Binghamton University.
I did not know that. See, you could have came and told me.
Yeah, we're right there, upstate New York.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, I mean, Emily went to is at Princeton, as you know. And again, I just think that the more alum that we're getting involved right now, then all of our grade levels start really understanding what we're achieving, right? They're able to look it up now, where 19 didn't have that, but they're able to look up right now and they're saying, hey, I see Emily Garcia. I see Caitlin Andrews. I see, Ashton Murphy, whoever it is. I see these students in these older prides, and I can do that too. And then those prides are going to start graduating, and it's going to become even more accessible and more normalized to answer your question. So, I mean, we're pumped. I mean, that's having a fourth year of college students out there. I mean, the alumni base is getting so powerful and so influential. The change the world part of our mission. And you know that the change the world part of the mission is you can start seeing it coming down the road. And that gets us really excited.
And so I can ask, like, what do we have to thank for making HD possible?
Yeah, I mean, historically, we have families and a community that believed in an idea and supported us, helped us get our first prides in, help promote the school, help get us resources. And all those people are a huge part of the story and well documented when it comes to 19, 20, and some of the support of churches and the chamber and some of our local elected officials. I mean, there's just so many people part of that early part of the story. But when we think about it now, right, like, yeah, we're in beautiful buildings, but it's the people. I mean, it is the people who decide that this is the place that they're committed to. The people who take pride in the pride, right? The staff members who work relentlessly for kids every single day, not because of a paycheck, and in this day and age, we're really there's a lot of different working options to say, I'm going to come every day during a pandemic, and I'm going to push it every day to make sure my kids have what they need. That's amazing. We think about the parents who in an uncertain times have said, now we're committed. There are other options out there. There are virtual options. There's tons of things, and say we're committed to the school. And then lastly, our students who've gone through. I mean, you guys have had a senior class unlike any other. When you talk about that, the last full year of school you had was over 2 years ago. And you guys, I mean, the senior class is pretty amazing. And I'll use them as the example for all students right now, because to come in with that type of enthusiasm and go into your college applications the way you guys have, and to just lead the school with that type of energy and commitment, I mean, that's what we would hope all of our 1,300 students embody. So it's been an amazing year. It's not without any challenges. It's not without a lot of blood, sweat, and tears sometimes. But when you focus on some of the amazing things that have happened in 22, certainly has shown it off, then you realize how lucky and grateful you are.
That makes sense. I think that's all the questions that I have for today. And so thank you again for kind of sitting down and just sharing all of those things.
Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for interviewing, right?
No
Like,
problem.
did you know when you came here in 4th grade that you'd be sitting here interviewing me as a senior?
No, I did not. Honestly, when I was in 4th grade, all I was focused on was reading the Ho's book. I remember Extra Mile. That's
Yeah.
all I was focused on. I didn't think about like, oh, senior year was going to come right then and there. And so it's here now. So this is truly has been an exciting journey for me.
It's exciting for me too. It's exciting to have spent some of the time we've spent, although, inconsistently throughout the years. But seeing you as the little runt running around, the little cousin, right,
Yes.
of Angel. And then when this came up to say, you know what, she's the one. We didn't discuss anybody else.
That meant a lot.
We
to
knew
me.
you were the one. And just appreciate the questions and the energy. It's been fun.
Thank you so much.
So,
That concludes the episode of In the Huddle with Mr. Sanchez. Thanks for watching and see you soon, HC family.